nigga.
Good. Here we go, man. We live, baby. 3, 2, 1.
Damn! Have you ever got it?
No. Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's I the Most High, my tag team partner, Chitty, a.k.a. Chitty Bang. Damn, I fucked that up. It's CT, a.k.a. Man.
Don't matter, you gotta know who the fuck I am.
Yo, yeah, you know
CT.
the shit. We've been, 158 episodes, nigga. You better know who he is, dog.
If you don't,
now you know.
See Chris Most High, CT Chitty Bang, and we are the underground of Professional Wrestling Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Zaxby's, baby. Come on, we need that bag.
Honestly, Zaxby's,
we need that
you've been doing your free promo for years, and you haven't sent us a check yet.
Or a free meal,
you know
gift
what?
card,
Free meal, gift card, something, man. Fuck with y'all. Support y'all, please.
Yo, listen.
Sponsor the boy.
Yo, shout out. Hold on. On some real shit though. Shout out to the Black Announce. Damn, do I got my Damn, hold on. I might be unprepared right now to drop the bombs real quick, but I'm gonna drop some bombs in post. Fuck that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Black Announce table right now. I don't have my switchboard with me. Shout out to the Black Announce table, bro. They got a sponsorship with SeatGeek, my name.
Oh, good for them.
So you log into SeatGeek with your first order, you put in the Black Announce table. So Zaxby's,
bomb right there.
Fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Get us to Zaxby's.com. You know what I'm saying? Sponsor code RWP. Maybe, high 420.
Give me a lifetime 6-finger plate. I'm good.
Come on, dog. Y'all know what we do, man. We are the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast, and you can find us wherever you get your podcast at. You can follow us on Reasonable Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook. You can follow us at RW Podcast 1 on Twitter. You can hit us up on fucking YouTube. But if y'all on the fucking Patreon, y'all know that. So if y'all listen to us audio, that's where you can see the visual shit at. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for all the support. We're going to get right into it. We just got done having a nice, dope-ass interview with Marie Shadows, a content creator in our space. She's doing some really great shit, some really dope shit. Check that out. That's going to be available for everybody. We're going to have that chopped up for y'all. And we already got our juices flowing, so we're about to get right into it.
Yeah.
We are recording. Today is Thursday, the 24th. We're 7 days away from WrestleMania. And do you give a fuck about Brock and Roman?
That says it all.
Man, okay.
That says it all. Listen, when it comes to Brock and Roman, and I thought we need to talk about this because this is supposed to be the biggest match of all time, the biggest match that weekend. If they're a week away, I got to talk about the biggest match that weekend. And we're going to be driving in, or he's going to be driving in next week. I'm going to be flying in. There will not be a podcast on Thursday. So I wanted to talk about the show as far as before we get there, what do we expect? I'm telling you right now, Brock and Roman have a long history together. This feud should matter a lot more to me. Maybe it does to other people. I don't know because I'm just one dude. But when it comes to Brock and Roman, what is the story that could have been told? Well, you got Brock who beat Roman at WrestleMania and brutally beat him. Badly. Embarrassed him. And he was supposed to be next up. This tribal chief version of Roman, they should have saved that MSG beatdown until the week going into WrestleMania.
Come on.
And he should have said, listen, I'm going to do exactly what I did to you at WrestleMania. I'm going to abuse you like you abused me back at WrestleMania. What number was that?
34.
34.
In New Orleans.
Yeah. So, but this week, what do they got him do? They got Brock in a fucking forklift on SmackDown, and it's, to me, this screams shenanigans, and it's not bad. I would think that this happened prior to Roman's beatdown,
correct,
and left him bloody going into WrestleMania. That would have been good on the way. But I I don't appreciate it. It didn't get me more excited for the match. It didn't get me more excited for anything. He's trying to get his revenge, but he already knows he's going to get Roman at WrestleMania. I think then they got out the car, production-wise, they got into some other SUV and drove off. Producing-wise, that angle, I just thought it was reaching. I thought they were trying something.
Too much.
It was too much. I wouldn't. But if you set something like this up with, how do I put this? With a proper story, and I'm not talking about Roman just attacking him mentally just to make him look bad. I'm talking about Roman attacking him with a purpose. Brock defending himself with a purpose. Brock trying to prove something at WrestleMania, and so is Roman trying to prove something at WrestleMania. They both can't prove each other.
I got
right.
this. I got this for you.
Go ahead.
This is how I think this is what got us engaged. Paulie telling Roman back in the time when he was trying to save Roman from Brock because he didn't know. That should have triggered Roman. None of this game shit, none of this. I'm the fucking tribal chief. This is my company. Don't nobody name ring a bell louder than mine. When Brock came back in SummerSlam, the only objective for Roman was to eliminate the Beast. Seth didn't slay that nigga. Taker couldn't get rid of this nigga. This nigga is not a main event level guy because I am. That should have been the story. When Paul told that nigga Roman that he should be scared, that he thought that he was scared, why? And that should have been Roman's whole justification till now.
Yeah.
Why would I be fearful of anybody?
Uh-huh.
Why? And then Brock should have been doing everything to show him, I'm gonna eliminate Bobby, I'm gonna come at the Big E, I'm gonna eliminate champions, I'm gonna come at to let you know, nigga, that I'm fearful. And that nigga gonna hold his title and say, my title means what it means because I got it. Brock gonna say, no, my title means what I got because I got it. And then that nigga Roman gonna say, well, what you gonna do? Because my shit stink. And I'm telling you my shit stink. And Brock gonna be like, well, I'm a country boy that eat free. My shit stink harder than yours, boy. I would have loved that shit. And then it don't need to have all this false physicality. Because the physicality would have been shown on the road to WrestleMania with other challengers. I think if they were going to do what they were going to do still, take the title off of Biggie, take the title off of Bobby, still present Brock Lesnar as the unified champion, I think that whole time frame should have been trying to prove a point to Roman that I am still a beast. And Roman's whole time frame, like, nigga, a beast is a feast to the chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn, I'm fucking good, nigga. Ah!
A beast is a feast to the chief. Write that one down. Listen,
if you put that on a fucking t-shirt, you bitch ass niggas, because y'all paying for our Patreon,
yo,
give me some fucking bread, nigga.
Yo, that could be on a t-shirt. That could, that honestly, they don't dive deep with their characters. They just do this. And I don't think that wrestling shouldn't have this. I like wrestling having this as well. But this is not the storyline that it needed, Use this spot for somebody else,
They already did. They used it for Braun. Braun and Roman did this already. He flipped over the ambulance and shit like that. Like, we've already seen this.
Yeah, and Brock is not somebody, he's an MMA fighter. He don't need a sport. He don't need it.
He ripped the fuck open! What are you talking about?
He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin that works with him, Braun is a big country man, like he tearing shit down. It worked for him. Everybody has, their way of fight. He's a fighter. He's just going to walk right up to you, rip your door down, and tear you apart. So I get what they were trying to do. I'm not feeling it. However, this is what I want at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns got to win this match, and he had to win it decisively. And that's it. He has to win it decisively. And I really think that, there should be blood. I think I know you don't want to do that. But if you're going to give me something more than you gave me at the last WrestleMania that they fought at, or the SummerSlam that they fought at, or the
Saudi
Arabia show that they just fought at. For goodness sake, all right, do something different. Make me feel like, man, we came here to see this, or we paid our money for the Peacock, or whatever you're doing to watch WrestleMania. We paid it, and we got the best out of these two guys on this night that we can give today. And that's all I'm asking. And I hope and pray that we get it. Because right now I'm not super confident in the Peacock.
Now, speaking of what I am liking, the development story of what they got going on, even though the minutia of what they're doing. Oh, my bad. Hey, what about one? I still got one.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
No. I took the orange one because you had the black one.
I don't got the black one.
Nah. He trying to portray me as a lighter.
I've been using my fucking torch.
That's a lie. I just gave you the black lighter. You had the black lighter.
No, I just had it just now. But
just
okay. Listen, I'm talking about earlier. I'm talking about earlier. My bad. But yeah, you're right.
No. As far as what we're talking about, as the story that is picking up steam, that I am kind of enjoying right now, that even though it's not hitting, right? The believability of the animosity matters. That's Ronda and Charlotte on SmackDown. Ronda's doing a little bit more business than expected. The previous points out that she don't give a fuck about wrestling fans. She came in, and and honestly, I love that mentality. Like, look, dog, I really don't give a fuck about you. I'm here to make the best of what I can, and if that's making the most money doing what the fuck I can do or want to do, because you're only going to be able to do what they allow you to do.
Yeah, I think Ronda. She looked at herself as an outsider.
Yeah, and
she was, but she didn't.
Well,
to me, I thought Ronda got a lot of love from wrestling.
But I think that's the switch, right?
Yeah,
that had to be,
and she's now
accepted because it's different, right? It is different.
Yeah, it is.
That false advertisement in MMA, they don't care. They just want to see the they want to see you get it in. Yeah. I'm gonna cheer you until Holly Holmes knock your ass out. Or I'm gonna cheer you until Amanda Nunes choke your ass out, whatever the fuck happened. Like, but in WWE, we aren't as fickle as a lot of people, or in wrestling, period. I'm just going in wrestling, they have the ability to ride along more with that journey. And rather than pure combat, one-off sport. So I think that she kind of felt, because again, we as content creators and what we do with our podcasts and shit like that, we do have a voice, and our voice can be pretty loud and be like, hey, yo, Robert, you're taking the fucking spot from somebody who deserved it, from somebody who earned it, from somebody who, but now again, we are sophisticated wrestling fans and understand the significance of the business behind it, right? Ronda being able to come in and be the draw that she is because Ronda's able to come in and be the draw that she is.
Ronda had my respect since pretty much her and Nia did things. I was like, from that point forward, I was like, no, she's cut for this, and it was very early actually in her run, even before that, because Ronda's a natural. Honestly, I'm just gonna be honest. She's a natural in the ring, and she cuts it. So her taking a spot, it never got to me that way. I think that maybe what's going on with me in this angle with Charlotte is I might just not be getting what I wanted, so I'm not all the way there. But as far as the point you're making about Ronda giving more to the wrestling,
yes,
and
Charlotte and Ronda are trying to. They're trying to sell it.
They're trying to sell it.
Yep.
And I get it. But being that she had that relationship with the fans, it's a little bit awkward.
That would have came back as a heel.
She could have, but I wouldn't. That would be nice.
But with that,
you don't even need to even be a heel though. Like, she could just literally come out here and this be a redemption story of her saying, "Listen, I wasn't fucking with y'all," and then Charlotte taking pride. See, that's why people don't fuck with y'all. And keep on egging her on to,
you can force it. I mean, they're trying to force the crowd now. That's why they do Naomi with her and shit like that, because Naomi is behind Sasha Banks, the biggest baby face on that roster. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Ronda can't be behind Naomi and get a rub She needs to be on her own and be. The fans do like her. I mean, but I'm talking about from the standpoint of the story being told. Like, if she genuinely, authentically, was like not all with being cheered and stuff like that, and she went backstage and she was like, you know what, let's do this story where, she actually talks about it candidly. Like, listen, I wasn't really, you guys weren't really supporting me last time, but I'm doing this, for my daughter, and this is not about y'all. And then Charlotte says, you're never going to be a wrestler. And she says, you're never going to be accepted here. And us tell that story of her getting that point where she's accepted and WrestleMania winning the championship, even if it's some false story, I think could have worked.
That would work.
That would work. Even if it's like, pushing it out there in the narrative, and I think it would have been better from what they're presenting. Now, the show's got to open her twice. Do you see Ronda pulling off the victory? Because I think that's the only way we're going.
I mean, listen. Ronda could lose, and they extend the storyline because looking at the trajectory of the roster, if Ronda wins,
Ronda needs to end Charlotte. I want Charlotte to take a hiatus.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if that's what I was just about to say. Looking at the roster, Ronda wins it. Who's the child?
You got Sasha, you got Naomi,
they're in the tag.
Natalia. You got Shayna.
They're in the
You
tag.
went with Shayna.
They're in the tag.
Shayna.
They're in the tag.
Get the fuck out the tag! You know how they should do women's tag division. They don't treat them like it's a real tag division. Come on. They throw these chicks together and then say, go out there. Over like Rhea was just with Nikki ASH. Now she's with Liv Morgan. They don't care. So now you just swap your Shayna with somebody else. But Natalia and Charlotte together, fuck. Shit. Like, that's how I would do it. And you want to get to SummerSlam, Shayna versus Ronda Rousey. If you do that for me, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I also hope we're going. For the tag division, I was down with Usos and Viking Raiders. I don't know why you guys didn't go with that. It's
what are they doing?
Shinsuke, Rick Boogs. No one cares. No one cares. Shane, Sammy, Jax, Johnny Knoxville. Okay, Okay. If you were giving me that and not giving me Logan Paul, I would be like, cool. If you're giving me that and just giving me, all right, that and Pat McAfee, all right, cool. But you're giving me all these damn filler matches that I really wish they kind of like got more stars on there lined up for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much.
No, I mean, listen. I would say that Johnny Knoxville and Sammy doesn't have to work, but like Sammy, for the character arc that he was on par being a comedy actor. Sami Zayn was a comedy actor until he switched on his violence to let niggas know, like, I am still a fucking rat. I'm still one of the best in the world. And then he switched his ability to wanting to be Intercontinental Champion, and we followed that story. And I think right now is that this does give Sammy the opportunity to do something that they normally wouldn't have anything for him to do, right? I think, if there wasn't a Johnny Knoxville situation, we might have had a situation where Sammy's hosting WrestleMania. And honestly, I would rather see some jackass shit with Sammy. I would rather see possibly Johnny Knoxville get shot out of a cannon or some shit. I have no idea. Last time WWE was in the fucking Texas arena,
I'm telling you,
Rock had a flamethrower. So I don't know what these niggas about to do.
You're lying to yourself. You're telling me you want to see Johnny Knoxville instead of Sami Zayn, doing this comedy act outside of just filling out the space.
I mean, if he's filling out the space and being a host throughout, I think we probably still complain about
whatever.
That
I wouldn't. I think that would be perfect for him. I think that if you put the Johnny Knoxville shit out there, cool. But you can't get me on top of that Logan Paul. You can't get me on top of that Pat McAfee taking the spot as well. I think that there's a lot of potential matchups. Like we're talking about Finn and Damian Priest. I know we're bouncing around.
But I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do wrestling itself sell out 100,000 people?
I mean, WrestleMania, the name.
No, do wrestling itself because
I do think so. I think WrestleMania alone, the name of it sells out Dallas with wrestling. Obviously, you bring one celebrity act and you're good to go. Like
you
you
can't
bring one celebrity.
You can't do. I'm only saying that in this day and age because the demo. We talk about how niche this. We know.
Is Johnny Knoxville and Pat McAfee that much of a draw? No.
Hold on.
I think the Logan Paul thing makes sense. If you're talking about drawing people and then you want to add people, like let's talk about technically.
I'm putting Pat number one.
Pat number one.
Pat has Aaron Rodgers on his podcast every week. Okay. He got 150. Like Pat is number one.
I could be wrong because I think
that's a demographic.
Logan brings the kids. I think and
who got to spend the money? Dad still got to spend the money. Dad got to still. If Dad don't give a fuck about wrestling, but his son do, who gonna get me there? Football guy. Pat McAfee's a football guy.
Football's not. Pat McAfee's audience for his podcast and his audiences are men. They're grown men. I think that Logan Paul is the one that brings the kids.
I know, but okay, grown. Okay, let's take that then. Let's parse that. Grown men who don't watch wrestling.
Yeah, so they come. They're not already buying a ticket to watch Pat McAfee wrestling. And here's the thing about that. I think that if you're talking about business.
I don't know.
I'm talking about business. It makes sense to have the Logan Paul thing. Pat McAfee makes sense as well because sometimes they give an announcement.
This Johnny Knoxville is the only thing.
This Johnny Knoxville thing.
Yeah. Like
you guys.
Yo, guys, hold on. But when Johnny, this is long-term booking though, Chidi. You just don't like it.
It is.
Hold on, because Johnny said at the Royal Rumble that I'm entering the Royal Rumble. Was like, this nigga taking a spot.
No,
he's taking a spot.
Because we all know what's going on here, man. We all see it. We knew it from Joe. We called it a mile away. We're like, fuck. We're gonna get Johnny Knoxville. I thought we were gonna get it at Roadblock. What the fuck they do? Was it a Elimination Chamber?
Come to Saudi, nigga. Come get the blood money, dog.
Get that out the way, but we're getting to WrestleMania, and
Johnny's the only thing. I think again, like you said,
we got Ricochet and Sammy. That could have been a great banger of a match at WrestleMania. Like I think that you give them some time to go out there. That could have been a great opener, honestly.
Especially if the dirt sheets are saying that Ricochet is in line for a big push. If Ricochet's in line for a big push, Sammy can say, hey, that championship win that you had over me was a fluke. I want my rematch. Ricochet will, how'd you have the rematch at the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania? Sammy Ricochet, you do Ricochet with the entrance. Ricochet have his WrestleMania moment. Sammy, yeah. You know what I'm saying? SmackDown, not really intrigued with that y'all got going on. Not nothing.
I come to SmackDown for Naomi and Sasha.
Yes, sir. Respectfully. Moving on of what things that is unexpected and that does keep my attention. Raw. Right? Sometimes, Raw has its ebbs and flows to where we are not fuck with it. And normally it's during football season. Okay. But now since football season is over with, we have undivided attention to wrestling on Monday nights. And they have not really disappointed. I know the championship is tied up with Brock Lesnar. We know that. It looks like that they're going to go for a unified champion. So therefore, we'll have Roman on Raw and SmackDown. I think that's gonna bring the bitches. We talking about what brings the audience. Roman brings the audience. Okay.
I was gonna say, draw for a reason on the shirt,
that's a big dog draw right there. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like that championship is
needle mover. That's what he said.
Yes. Yeah. So we eliminate the championship on Raw. Seth is really the main threat of what's happening on Monday Night Raw. Outside of Kevin Owens, right? And I think that's phenomenal for both of them. Because
they're doing good with those guys. The Seth thing, I'm starting to see where it's coming to form. And if it goes with the Cody idea, then it works. But in the KO spot, I loved it too. So yeah, Raw this week might have been the most kind of like impactful show in a weird way because
leading into all Seth has to do is with the with their friends losing his mind and shit like that. All he has to do for me is to tie in how he missed 33.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there at 33, 32.
That'll be cool.
Dallas. All he has to do is tie in like, I'm not like WrestleMania. Yes, championships. Don't give a. I'm not missing Dallas.
Yeah.
I cried in the
Was
sky.
that
That was in Dallas.
Yo, he can do that in one line.
One line.
Yeah.
One line. He go like crazy. Like Raw is not happening.
Like he's having a
WrestleMania
flashback.
is not happening until I have a match at WrestleMania in Dallas at AT&T Stadium in front of 100,000 people. I need my moment, Cody.
I'll be there. I gotta hand it to you. I'll be there. I hope. I pray.
Nigga, if we get that, bruh, like that's
if we get that, I
that's
gotta
it.
say that will be probably the best thing they did going into the show.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if you're talking about storytelling and just anticipation and production wise,
because Seth needs that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Seth needs that. All that shit is good, but we remember having to watch Triple H versus Roman Reigns, nigga, because you ripped your knee off, nigga. Okay? We remember the feeling we had when you came back from Money in the Bank and pedigreed him after.
Yeah.
We remember the promo that you had us in the palm of your hands the night after at Raw. We remember. And then everything else has not gotten to that point again. You getting me to that point starts from there, right? That tying together. You getting back to that. Nothing else you did. Nothing else you did with Bray. Nothing you did with Dean, the champ, the tag teams. None of that shit is gonna get me back to you saying that you need to feel 100,000 people because you missed that.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're jealous of that. You're envious of that. Anybody that's getting that, you don't give a, you like they shouldn't have. Nobody deserved it because nobody deserved that moment during that time. Seth, that time when you was running, when you was the cash-in, the championship run that you was going to have. You and Roman's story leading up to Dallas, biggest WrestleMania ever.
Crazy.
My God.
The authority angle was awesome.
My
the
God,
authority
bro.
angle going into that would have been great. And we messed out,
So yeah, man, give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. And give me that on Saturday while I'm there. Nigga.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm praying.
Come on.
I'm
you
praying.
know what I'm saying?
I want to see Seth on night one because and I said last week I don't want WrestleMania matches or angles where you don't have a match with somebody. At least give me a couple of WrestleManias with that. I still stand by it. But if you do it and you lead it up to a Cody return and you pop the crowd and then they just stare each other down before the night before WrestleMania, or the week before WrestleMania, then cool. That's all you need. Go with it and let's but KO's doing great too. Like what KO's doing is great too. So Raw right now it has a way of getting you on the edge of your seat.
And boom, and not just with the storyline, them niggas is giving you what did you love, what did you miss, what did you yearn for, what did you ask WWE to put some time into? They are putting on banger after banger after banger after banger with tag team wrestling, bruh. The interweaving between RKO, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and then that guy, little time frame Seth and KO was in there, bruh. Like you could not miss.
Yeah, they're tearing it up with the tag division on Raw. So I gotta hand it to them. But yeah, going forward, I think that with the Arcade Bro, Alpha Academy, Street Profits thing, it can go any way. And I
hate that that's Sunday.
Because
I hate that.
Sunday. I would love to see that.
I hate that that's Sunday, but I love to smoke up and watch that bitch at just chilling because that's gonna be a banger. That gotta open the show if it do.
It could.
Set the tone. I hear voices. Dallas night one Sunday. I hear voices. that sets the tone for the rest of the fucking night, bro.
That does. It's gonna be crazy.
That
man.
set the tone, man. So hey, man, look, nigga, we don't write, we
Well,
produce, nigga. We all
get-
encompassing.
We get Randy opening the show on night 2. Night 1. That'd be awesome.
You know,
The
opens.
glass shatters in Dallas.
Nah, that
First
doesn't.
things first. You know, when you hear glass at your ass, that kicks off the whole event.
Yo, honestly,
You don't need nothing else but just Stone Cold's glass shatter to start the show. It'd be crazy.
god damn.
Or you want to wait and put it on at some point in the middle. It's not going to be as big.
No,
I
I would.
think you want to have a.
Honestly, I think that honestly, I was gonna say you have Bianca and Becky come out and put on a banger. Let Becky and Bianca go for a strong 20-25 minutes to get the adrenaline going. But if you coming out with just some ass kicking and some beer chugging,
in Dallas.
oh nigga, yeah, that
It's a good
shit might
time.
be
It's a
crazy.
good time.
That might be crazy. So Raw, man, y'all doing a really good job. Honestly, my only critique, and I gotta get this in here since we here. My only
No,
critique,
no.
Finn. I love you, dog. Honestly, dog. If you don't get the fuck away from Austin Theory, man, what the fuck's going on? Like, I mean, he got his own thing, but it's just like he a promiscuous bitch. You dig? Like, he got his own situation over here with Pat, but he just gotta go jingle the balls over here in this situation. I'm
I
like,
don't get
come
it.
on,
I don't
man.
get why he's the one they had to match with, because I thought him and Damian Priest had an angle going on. So it made no sense to have him get heat on Finn. Yeah, you know, it made no sense.
Yo, y'all got my nigga Finn out here looking like a sucker.
As champion.
Come on, y'all gotta
Yeah.
fix it real quick. Y'all can't just give me the quick. I was feeling it, and honestly, I was like, okay, little joke, and then over time, I think it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a
We're
row.
gonna put the title on Theory at WrestleMania.
For sure. Okay, so I can see.
Yeah.
All right, well, if that's the case,
Then you could have waited though. Shit.
nah, honestly can't beat Priest. Crazy.
No, I'm saying he could have beat Finn. You don't need to have him.
True.
They could've waited.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's true. You can just because Finn and Priest need to just have their thing. Like I want to just see their thing.
Yeah. Also
You know
with
what
the
I'm
title and taking pictures of yourself with the title on people. I think that's that.
It's my turn to fuck the bitch. You feel me? Like you ain't gotta be coming putting your dick all in the face. You know what I'm saying? It's Patreon.
Not only Vince.
Oh man.
different subscription model.
Oh man. Okay.
But
but moving on, man.
Point being, fix Finn, please, and he should have more problems.
Fix Finn, nigga. That might be the name of the podcast. Nigga. Moving on from
Especially by October, please.
yes,
Just leave it at that.
please.
Yeah.
Going in from Monday to Tuesday. Okay. Okay. We just had the conversation with Marie, and she spoke about how she enjoys character work being back, right? She loved gimmick characters being back, and that's what we see a lot of with NXT. But that seems to be something that is rejected amongst some sophisticated wrestling fans because they like the realism that has been brought back to wrestling. You have been checked out from NXT.
Fuck it. And I'm sorry to say.
I mean, but is it because the characters? Is it like what got you checked
Dolph
out?
Ziggler, man, fuck, you fucked everything up.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world that I'm trash.
And here's why. Here's bootleg Billy Gunn. Oh my god,
Nigga, bro, I called you better than Billy Gunn, and all you done after that is just be Billy Gunn. I just could have kept Billy Gunn. Nigga, I said you was better.
He's an ass boy.
Damn.
Oh man.
Snapchat ass nigga.
They put the title on Dolph Ziggler at NXT. I gave it a shot. I was like, oh, okay, you guys are trying something. Cool. Bringing him down here. I thought Braun Breaker, boom. Valentine's Day, he gets a little victory and he moves on. Over Dolph Ziggler, he gets to find out how to work in the ring. He's cardio up because Dolph is a worker. And then you move him over to the big dog Gunther.
Ah!
And that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Gunther versus Braun Breaker at Stand and Deliver, and we're not getting that. And I'm checked out. I'll be honest. It's a thing where I think this is a missed opportunity. It's a big weekend. Why is Dolph Ziggler in the main event? It's a big weekend. I do believe that these two men deserve it, and they've earned it. And it would matter more than Dolph Ziggler losing the title to Braun Breaker. Because if he wins, I'm gonna never watch again. I swear. But it's a thing where you put the title on Dolph, and you could have put it on Walter, a guy who's bigger than Braun Breaker, and it makes sense to.
Yeah, and it was a previous
And he has a
built-in
stable.
story. It was a previous built-in storyline between Walter and Tommaso.
Exactly.
So Walter and Tommaso could have had a storyline to where after when Walter presents himself, Gunther presents himself, and Tommaso is backing himself away from Braun. When the next challenger should have been Gunther, and then if Tommaso wanted to have a number one contenders match with anybody, should have got his fucking head chopped off by Gunther, and then we got Gunther versus Braun.
And I don't mind the Dolph, steer off the path, of the roadway, or what do you call it, intersection or exit. You want to take an exit with Dolph real quick? As long as you get back on track. You had Solo Sikoa and Walter have an angle. I'm like, right after this Solo Sikoa thing, Gunther should have gone right after Braun, and then by then he would have been done with Dolph, or even if it was Robin Roode instead of Dolph, I would like it more. The Glorious coming back to NXT, and become an NXT champion for a second time. He has more charisma. You were saying he has more charisma than Dolph. He has
more charisma than Dolph.
I think he would
Bobby got more charisma than Dolph, yes.
So it would have been better, but this was the main match. I think that we would have waited. But now at this point, Braun got to win the match against Dolph. And then what I would have done with him and Gunther is I would have given him the title to Gunther. But you can't now have this match happen without him losing the title again, right back to back. You can't, even after WrestleMania, I can't get this the way I wanted it to be. Because I wanted it to be him losing the title to Gunther and come back and beat him, at a big show.
What's going to happen is that nigga Braun going up to the roster. So he going to lose the title to Gunther between now, SummerSlam weekend.
Okay.
Braun Medias going to be up there by the fall.
Okay.
So
I think by the fall, yeah, but I think
he's going to. I'm saying no. He's going to lose the title in the summer.
Okay.
And then he's going to make the transition.
Yeah.
So I think SummerSlam weekend is in August. We'll get that match.
Okay. What the fuck does Gunther do to them? And you already got the titles on Imperium, so it's perfect to do it now.
They're losing the titles.
I know. They probably will. But they it's the same thing with
Did you want them all with the same? Did you want them all with the title?
I mean, if you didn't do it with Toxic Attraction, then yes, but you're doing it with them. I would rather it be with these guys, than Toxic Attraction. But that's just me. Do your thing. I'm not trying to even talk about them because I'm checked out as well with that. It's a thing where NXT 2.0, I was giving it a real leash when they shifted things, and I really wanted to give them a shot to really tell new stories with new characters. And we're now at WrestleMania weekend, and I'm like, damn, you disappointed me. You could have not. I like Carmella Hayes as a champion, I do, but he needs somebody to face that actually can give him that interaction. I think Santos would have been great one-on-one ladder match.
He ran through them niggas though.
Santos,
he ran through them niggas. Carmelo that nigga, dog. So and that's why. And I know you might not like it, right? So you might not like why he's doing it, but he did one of the barbershop vignette type shit, and he was like, "Yo, nigga, I done ran through everybody, and shit. Clearly, one challenger ain't enough for me." He beat Grimes. He beat fucking Santos. He beat fucking
Has he beat Santos? I don't remember seeing that match. I think him and Santos in a one-on-one ladder match would have been what I would have built towards. I would have built towards him and Santos one-on-one, stand and deliver ladder match. But if you want to do a multi-man match, cool. But you literally taking the steam out of a lot of your characters. Even LA Knight, I was just telling you before the pod, you had him lose a last man standing match to Austin Waller, and then have him lose an NXT Championship match right after that. And I don't even know why he got that title shot. And
he got it with his mouth. That's why Gunther would have beat his ass. Gunther's that's why I say it might be like you might not like the way they're telling the story, but they are in some ways trying to find rivalries, right? LA Knight, like you said, he lost that last man standing match, but he didn't lose it cleanly. He did lose it with the assist of a big nigga.
Shout out to Saga. Saga's that dude. Best Indian wrestler ever. He gonna beat the Jinder Mahals. He's gonna be better than
Great Khali.
He's gonna be better than Veer Mahan, whoever they're plugging on Raw. I'm telling you, he has a presence in the ring, wears a nice suit, looking like a boss, and I think he translates better than any character that I've seen come from India. In my opinion.
So with that being said, with that logic, LA Knight lost to that nigga who's gonna be the best prospect of Indian wrestling ever, and then Grayson Waller. So with that being said, like, okay, boom, he lost that.
So then what's the logic in putting him in Dolph right after that and lose?
Well, I think
how can I look into this match with him and Gunther with any anticipation at all?
Well, I think that so the anticipation for me was, again, LA Knight was right in LA Knight from the beginning, right? I don't know how he shifted to a babyface, but he is there.
Games.
He is there. Okay, so but from the beginning, his biggest attribute has been his mouthpiece. Remember, I said I didn't like the fucking gear. I didn't like I said it just looked real generic. But his mouthpiece was not. It was very, very much experience coming from where he came from before. And he takes those promo classes with a little bit more intelligence because he knows just how Austin told KO, hey kid, you're gonna make your best money by talking. And LA Knight did exactly that's how he got the championship with Dolph. He talked his way into that match. Gunther was like, you skipped the line, motherfucker? Like you just said, I came in, I'm dominating niggas, and you got a match because you talk? No. You get championship matches because you earned them. And LA Knight was like, hey, let me tell you something. And he got this like, talk to me. Yeah. I can't hold you down. That shit is over.
It's over.
Bro, that shit is over.
Let me talk to you. He's an old school guy, you know. He's a great on the mic. He can speak. He's an MC. He's a guy who want to go out there and start
I think this is a style clash of storytelling that you would appreciate if it was probably presented a little bit differently. But this is the style clash of, like LA Knight said, hey, it's called sports entertainment, right? And the sports entertainment, LA Knight is entertaining. Gunther is going to try to beat the shit out of LA Knight. We know that. LA Knight has to survive. That's the story. To me, right? And everybody probably might not see it. But going into this, you've written, like you said, he's lost.
Even if you can't survive without
you've written a lot of checks that you can't necessarily cash, or at least you tried to cash and they bounced. You didn't have enough money in the account or something. What I'm telling you is Gunther going to empty the bank. Now, this might be a moment. And again, this
could call him up.
They possibly. Yeah. So, with that being said, and then this can be the story of Gunther telling the story like, hey, look, I eliminated everybody. This dog, the dog. Okay, no, this yard is mine. Yeah. So, and then that's the story we tell leading up until the summer.
You know what? I would actually keep the title on Imperium to get them on with the titles. If you want, I wouldn't mind. There's a possibility you can keep them on until they get the titles. But we're gonna tune in obviously for Stand and Deliver, but we'll be probably busy at the same time because it's in the morning of night one. But yeah, we're gonna check it out, and I just hope to have a good show, and I think we will. NXT tends to sometimes surprise me, but they did let me down with the booking of this program, and we'll see how things move forward. Moving on.
Can I pause real quick? My wife just texted me and told me to come outside. I have no idea why. So give me one second. I don't know why she's outside. My wife buys Zaxby's.
I think it's funny, man. Where is she? Still here?
Yeah, I think she might be downstairs still. Is the bed down there? She just. Oh yeah, that's her at the. Damn.
That's funny, man.
Well, you got some for later. She got you a big Zax.
Oh man, thank you. Honestly, please come. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. He's awesome, man. He's awesome. It is awesome.
Oh man, I'm like, and she got you.
He knows me too well. She remembers.
She remember your
Oh, she remembers that.
Oh,
It wasn't bad.
oh man, that's
That's
crazy, man.
That's funny as hell, man.
Oh man, damn. Where we leave off, man? Ah,
Yo,
shit.
shout out to Ivy. She just got us Zaxby's, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So we left off with talking about LA Knight, Gunther, and all that. And I was just saying that moving forward, I just want there to be a good show. There probably will be. So tune in. We'll check it out. Next up on the docket, AEW. AEW. So
We're gonna talk about the things we like first off before we talk about things we don't like.
First, you want to take it off? Take it away.
Daxton CM Punk. Really good opener.
I'm surprised that you were gonna say that because I liked it too. I thought you were saying the whole show was trash. When I turned it on and watched it, I was like, it started off good.
It's trash because it's produced trash. I was tweeting. It feel like they produced their show backwards. Like they read it from like back cover to front or some shit like that. Like the script, they just read from back to front. Because ultimately, CM Punk and Dax didn't need to be an opener. It was a good opener, but it was an opener that had me flicking back to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't.
And you want to tell me about NXT?
Well, hold on. It wasn't a live match. First and foremost, you end the show Wednesday. You end Rampage Friday with Hardy Boys saving Sting and Darby, or other way around, or vice versa.
Okay, you're making a great point right now because I got something to say about that.
You start the fucking show with that. You start the show with making me not turn the channel because looking at Dax and CM Punk, I'm gonna get a wrestling clinic that I can watch back. Going back and seeing the fucking bar fight or whatever the fuck niggas are doing and having this nigga jump off the ladder onto a table, nigga, I ain't watching that game. I can check my highlights if I'm watching this chaos, this mayhem. You know what I'm saying? And then you roll into the rest of your show like that. But listen, AEW was only trash because the things that were bad were horrible, right? It's the same thing with WWE. Honestly, when like WWE had that effect.
Yeah.
When they did something really bad, we was like, nigga, don't shit else matter, nigga. We got to talk an hour and a half on how fucked up this was. But
when it comes to the Hardy Boys, and
Hardy Bros,
they're men now. I mean, so I don't know what to say, bros. When it comes down to them and Private Party defecting, I think that's what I want to see, not a match. I think the match was good, but it doesn't matter. Like, it was a good match, but it doesn't matter if you don't give Private Party the mic or segment backstage. It was like, yo, listen, we got away from Matt Hardy because of X, Y, Z reason, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna take over as AFO, whatever you want to call it, with Andrade, and we're gonna take and if Darby Sting want that smoke too. They want to get in. Well, we're gonna get however they want to put it. Obviously, just give a reason why they left, and then build to the match. I think that would have been better personally because it was a good match, but it was a bunch of spots that didn't mean shit.
Didn't mean a fucking thing.
It was a bunch of spots that didn't mean a damn thing. Cool spots nonetheless, but Jeff Hardy doing that spot would have been so much better if you had,
if it meant something.
Meant something. Like, yeah, if you had Butcher and Blade, beating him down for it even 1 week, and then he did that spot, or Butcher and Blade saying that they were the hitmen to like Andrade's like, okay, you guys take out Jeff Hardy, like that, and then he does that spot. It's like, Jeff has still got it, So, and he does, but that's where Jeff should be. I'm just sorry, a match like this is where Jeff belongs. Sting too, which is why they give him that moment, which is utilizing them to the best of their ability. So the match was good, but like producing wise, yeah, I think that you should have told that story after all this time they spent with Matt Hardy, But moving forward, Private Party, they are booking Black, and we can go right into them because they need something, and that would have been it for me. Them getting that distance from Matt Hardy, and honestly, just telling the story of how it felt to be underneath the former Hardy brothers. But you took your tag team knowledge, you got what you needed from him, and then you left. And now you're doing what you can do with Andrade, who fits more of your steez, your style. You want to upgrade, and you want to get not only as an owner of AFO, you want to take this to places that couldn't have been before. And Cardi wasn't it. I think that is a story that needs to be told. And I would have switched it. I'm sorry. I would have switched them all the way up. I would have got them niggas away from both and be like, I want the ownership of your shit. I want a partnership. My name is Private Party, motherfucker. Meaning the party is private. Why the fuck I'm attached to your shit? They're gonna buy themselves out?
Bruh, that should have been like, yo, once Hardy, like this, I'm sorry, not because I'm sorry to cut you off. Once Hardy and Andrade was like, yeah, this is gonna be the AHFO, I would have set C's to them niggas looking at each other like, so I'm signed to another nigga, that signed to another nigga, that signed to another nigga. Now that's fucked up.
Oh man. That is fucked up.
And I would have been like, nah, nigga, I would have been the truck. I would have had backstage videos of them nigga that looking at their contract like 50%. Shit like this, like, nigga, okay, if he gets 50% and he gets 50% and it's 100%, we get I mean that would have been and I would have had to break them up.
That what I would do? I would bring in the Godfather and put him with her Private Party. And then bring back the whole train. But you can't use the Godfather. You got to call him something else.
Why would you prefer? I just told you to separate them. He's like, no.
This is the thing. They need a gimmick, man.
No, they don't.
They no one knows what Private Party is outside of they're a good tag team. And I think getting them away would help. But at the end of the day, to bring an element of Private Party, which is we all know what a Private Party is, then let's bring the aesthetic full circle. Bring in some hoes. So that's what I'm getting at. But it has to, you want to tell the story, bring, hold me in. But it's all good. I think that would be good without Hardy. I think him and Andrade are going to be decent. But they do need to find their own lane. If they're ever going to be tag team champions, they're going to need to have. They're going to have to have tag team matches,
like, and their own story.
Their own story, yeah.
Like, why should we be invested in Private Party? But the gimmick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why should we be invested? Like, what's your wrestling story? You know what I'm saying? So, ultimately,
we're going to say it before.
Nah, man, you better say it because you'll be mad as fuck and you ain't got it later.
So what?
Okay. Yellow. Going forward, I think Private Party should separate themselves from Andrade at some point, rather sooner than later. And I think they should go on their own tag team journey and they'll go through the ranks, right? I think they had a banger of a match together with fucking I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, right? You bring back them having tag. The tag team division is deep, right? Santana Ortiz needs something to do right now. That'll be a great feud to reestablish both of them together at their separate themselves from where they was, and then tag team wrestling, and then create tag team, right? And I would love to see them, and they have to fall a little bit, and then Private Party and fucking Top Flight can really go. I think that would be a great story to tell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Between the two as they fight for number one contendership as the young top tag team of AEW, right? Because they are AEW originals. I don't know a Private Party before anything else. I'm not sure.
We're the reason they got hired. We tweeted them. I'm joking, but we did tweet them before they got hired to AEW, like they'll sign these guys. But for real, they liked it. Maybe they remember it. I do believe they're AEW originals because it's the first time they've been seen on national TV.
Top Flight and
Top Flight is too. Yeah, so those two guys should be the Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and bring in another third tag team, whether it be Santana Ortiz, and make a TLC match for the
Luchasaurus. No, I think Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. They're
yeah.
I would love to see those three tag teams
in a TLC
match. That'd be great.
4 black dudes, man. And then dinosaur.
And a little white dude.
Yep.
So it's not even a masculine white dude. It's just a little white dude.
There you go. Book of Black. Gotcha.
Wrapping up with the show, man. It's a pretty fun show.
Yeah, it's been good.
We say the best for last, right? A little business and logic. We always have conversations that kind of tie into the lay of the land of how things are moving and shaking, the way how things are logistically, because the way how business operate, right? One of the things that struck me kind of, I thought was not surprising, but a little surprising was seeing Tony Khan bring up how he, was not going to be running AEW shows during WrestleMania weekend, and how he caught. Well, he
last week you're like here because of me.
He caught because ROH is running the show. He now owns ROH, so he was like, that card, those tickets were already sold previously to my acquisition. So of course I want to make it the best card possible. So if I have to lend my talent to that event, I will, because that's mine. I'm making my shit better.
Yeah.
But he said ultimately he will not have AEW run anything for Mania
What's
weekend.
that AEW? Fuck. It's on me. It's there somewhere, but it's off the fucking board. No Mania weekend for AEW moving forward. And that might be ROH and AEW products. So I think that with this news breaking per se, business-wise, you were saying that no, he should come and say no, we're gonna compete against you. I don't think AEW is anywhere near that, and I think that this is a competition thing. Like him saying, you know what, we're not doing nothing on that week because we are starting our own thing, and I don't mind if they book a show that day, but it has to be. I don't even want it in the same state. I want it in a completely different state. And I don't think that AEW is at the point where they can garner the attention to say, you know what, they're choosing WrestleMania weekend because they're not. It's really the weekend over AEW's show and wherever they're going to put.
This is what I would say. It's WrestleMania weekend for a reason, right? If you're trying to change the business, what you're doing, I would say do it. Dallas and Houston's 3 hours, 4 hours away. Make people choose the state, but make them choose what city.
What's that gonna help? Like you still have people that are gonna come down there and be in the state and say, "Fuck this show! I'm going to this weekend because guess what? GCW's over here. You got Wally Mania over here, and all live Dallas."
But that will
AT&T Stadium.
But that will ultimately still. I mean, I think
because they will get people who are 2 hours. They're gonna drive 2 hours away to see. 2 hours away to see both shows. Like let's say there might be a GCW fan checks out GCW, drives 2 hours out to Houston, or 4 hours to Houston to get AEW. That could possibly make them some money, business wise, correct? But if you're saying like this is what a branding of WWE, what needs to happen is GCW should also not be in that state. And if you guys really want to start doing your own thing,
well, that's why that's why I say have it in the same state. That's the reason why I brought that up. Yo, wrestling books out venues in advance, right? Yo, GCW, Joey Janela, Collective. I'm gonna be in Houston that weekend. We'll do Rampage. We'll tape an AEW show or whatever, or we'll do Dark or whatever. We're gonna be in Houston. If you move the weekend to Houston, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like
that's playing different games,
But I mean,
if you can do that, I'm not saying it's not an option. I'm saying that if you do that, you know what that WWE is gonna do? They're gonna book NXT right next to your shit. They're gonna try to garner fans to be closer to them. They're gonna do something, play some game, or say that they're not gonna be able to be in that stadium because of whatever. They're gonna start boxing you up. It's an opposition. It's an opposition move business wise. That's what I mean. When you start to work with GCW and you say, you know what, we're all gonna be in Texas and we're going to Houston. You gotta choose between Houston and Dallas. You guys pick. WWE is not gonna have that happening for a long time. Either they're gonna then start booking WrestleManias in places with one stadium and then telling the arenas around them, hey, we'll pay you to not have anything here, or hey, or not even that. They'll just say, if you have somebody here during the weekend wrestling event, we're not coming back. You can be in, MetLife Stadium for WrestleMania, and they could be at MSG or Nassau Coliseum and having shows with GCW or AEW. If AEW and GCW make that move, WWE will come to Nassau Coliseum and MSG and say, listen, if you book them during this weekend, we're not going to book in your arenas anymore. And that's how they would play that game, because they're starting to see, oh, you're trying to make moves like that? We're going to make the same move. I think what AEW is doing is saying, you know what? Y'all have that weekend because we ain't there yet. We all know. Yeah, he got money, but do you want to just chill out money just for business ideas that are not going to work long term? You want to get out and not associate yourself with WWE. You want to be in opposition and put your own stuff together. Where all out, maybe you're making an all out weekend, and do that. And then GCW can come to all out too.
But my thing is, where do they fit? My thing is like, where is the window, right? Because we got Royal Rumble season, Royal Rumble weekend, Royal Rumble weekend. We got WrestleMania in the spring, where we're at now. We got SummerSlam.
July. I think July is the best time for them. Okay. Like if they can do all out during then, summertime, people are on vacation, kids are out of school. They're gonna want to go to the events. It's gonna be a dope time to have maybe an Oakland Arena in Miami one year. Not that big yet, but if they can do that, that'd be amazing. And it's all out weekend, and then they do their whole thing. Call it whatever you want, just brand it whatever you want. And I think that would be dope for a long-term vision for AEW. Stay clear from AEW and for WWE weekend, and I support them in that. I agree with this move. To be honest, no more AEW during WrestleMania weekend. At least that makes me not have to choose to. So I can be like, hey, I'm like a fan here, and if I want to go to All Out weekend, I can go there, or whatever way you guys want to do. Maybe it's Revolution weekend. I don't know. Figure it out, and start to garner.
Revolution was a good deal.
It was. They did a whole fan fest thing here too. It was a big deal. Yeah. So that definitely feels like a one of their big shows.
Anything else on the docket?
Anything else on docket? No. Sanga for Hall of Fame. Shout out to Lance Archer. And I think that all is love. Everything is wrestling. We out this bitch.
Peace.